He left his laptop open with an email draft to her that said he was ending things with me, so I finished the email, hit send, then cashed out his shared savings on an Airbnb where I hosted a farewell party for all his exes who didn't know about each other. He left his laptop open. That was his first mistake. It was a Tuesday. He said he had a meeting, ran out the door in a rush, and I was just looking for the charger. The screen was still glowing. No password prompt. Just the desktop. I wasn't snooping, I wasn't even curious, until I saw the mail app bouncing. One unread draft. I clicked. The subject line just said, for her. And the body? It started with, I think it's time I tell her. That's when my stomach dropped. The rest of the email was a slow gut punch in sentence form. He was writing to someone he clearly cared about, someone he'd been seeing, telling her it was finally time to end things with me. That he'd come clean soon. That he'd never stop thinking about her. He was writing the breakup letter for me, but sending it to her. I scrolled down, eyes shaking, reading every word like it was a joke. But it wasn't. It was planned. Calm. Smooth. No panic. No shame. Just the casual cruelty of someone who'd already decided to move on and was now trying to make it look noble. I didn't cry. Not right away. My hand shook, but I didn't break. Not yet. Because I noticed something else. This wasn't the first draft. The email history showed 2 other deleted drafts with similar messages. Which meant this wasn't new. He'd been trying to word this the right way for a while. That's when it flipped. I stopped reading. I hit return. I deleted the sentence that said, I'm going to end things with her. I rewrote it as, it's over. I told her. She didn't take it well. I cleaned it up, added some fake tension, made it sound like he'd already ended things with me. Then I signed it, the way he signed all his emails, first name, only, no punctuation. And then I hit send. The moment I heard the whoosh of that email flying off, something in me settled. Like I had just pressed play on something bigger than revenge. I didn't know what yet, but I knew I wasn't going to confront him. Not with yelling. Not with tears. I was going to let him walk into his own trap. I shut the laptop, took a deep breath, and then I remembered something, our joint savings. We started it a year ago to plan a future. Vacations, big moves, maybe even a down payment one day. That was the idea. We'd both been putting money in every month. But I was the one who set up the account. I still had full access. I logged in, checked the balance, and, just like I thought, untouched. Still there. Quietly building for a future he was writing someone else into. So I transferred all of it into a new account in my name. And then I started making a guest list. I booked the Airbnb that same night. Big house, open layout, lots of light, somewhere that felt way too peaceful for what I had planned. I picked a weekend when I knew he'd be gone on a fake business trip with work friends, which probably meant her, maybe even more than one. Perfect. Then I opened my notes app and started making the list. It wasn't that hard to find them. He wasn't careful. Old Instagram tags, shady comments, random saved usernames in his Snapchat contacts. You start looking with the right eyes, you see everything. Some were recent, some went back months, maybe even years. And based on the overlap, he wasn't ending anything. He was rotating. Some of them I already suspected. One used to like my posts a little too often. One was tagged in a photo where he swore he was out with the boys. Another had a dog he claimed was his coworker's, but I'd seen the exact same dog in her reels. I made contact using a burner account. I didn't lie. I didn't fake screenshots. I told them who I was, that I had proof, and that I was planning something that they had every right to attend. I told them I wasn't looking for chaos, I was offering closure. Half of them didn't reply at first. Then slowly, one by one, they started writing back. Confused. Hurt. Some mad at me, some mad at him. One called me crazy. Another said thank you. But almost all of them asked the same question. Why? I told them the truth. Because we deserve to look each other in the face. Because none of us signed up to be hidden. Because he thought he was the only one who knew the whole story, and that was about to change. By the end of the week, 7 of them had confirmed. I ordered food, got drinks delivered, and set up a printed photo collage of him, every version of him they knew. The smiling vacation boyfriend. The gym selfie guy. The I'm only seeing you liar. I made a display. Each photo labeled with the date it was posted, the caption, and which of us he was with at the time. The final touch? I used his money to print the email he left open. The one I finished and sent. I framed it. Center of the room. The day of the party, they showed up slowly. Awkward at first. A few walked in ready to fight. A few were quiet. But after 5 minutes of talking, something shifted. We realized we were all telling the same story, just in different chapters. There was no screaming, no plates thrown. Just a group of women slowly stitching together the full picture. No one wanted him back. No one cried for him. We compared dates, timelines, messages, lies. We connected the dots he never thought we'd share. And as we sat in a circle, drinks in hand, I looked around and realized what we were doing wasn't revenge. It was recognition. He divided us to stay safe. But now we were in the same room, breathing the same truth. And we hadn't even told him yet. He came back on a Sunday night. I knew what time his flight landed. He thought I didn't know he was flying. I let him believe that. He texted me from the airport saying he missed me and that we should do a reset night when he got home. I told him sure, I'd leave the door unlocked. He walked in around 9 p.m., suitcase in hand, that fake tired but charming look he always did after disappearing for a few days. The lights were low. Music playing softly. Everything staged like I was still there, waiting. Except I wasn't. What he found instead were the remains of the party. Empty wine glasses. Folded paper napkins. 7 name cards still sitting on the kitchen island, each one handwritten. He recognized every name. He walked past the kitchen, into the living room. That's where I left the photo collage, centered on the coffee table. Next to it, the framed email. The one he started, the one I finished, the one she read days ago. The one that started the fire. I left a note under the frame. It said, "This is your goodbye." They deserved one too. I don't know how long he stood there. I don't know if he flipped out through anything, tried to call. Because I had already blocked his number. I didn't even stay at my place that night. I rented a room in the same Airbnb and watched the doorbell camera from my phone. He stood outside for 15 minutes. He rang. He knocked. He tried the handle again and again, like maybe it would magically open. Then he sat on the steps, hands in his hair, not calling anyone, just staring at the ground. I watched him like that until he finally got up, walked back to his car, and drove off. After that, I deleted the camera feed. I didn't save it. I didn't need proof. I'd already had my closure. I didn't post anything. I didn't send a group text or write a viral story. I let silence say the rest. That shared savings account? Gone. That laptop? Reset. That chapter? Closed. The other women? Some of us stayed in touch. Not out of trauma bonding, but because we actually liked each other. We made plans to meet again, not to talk about him, but because something real had come out of something fake. As for him, I don't know where he went. I didn't follow. I didn't need to, because here's what he'll never be able to undo. He walked into a room full of people he thought would never meet. And every single one of them had finally learned his favorite lie, that he thought we'd never talk to each other. Turns out we did. And then we left. Together.